Hello and welcome to video 2 in our series of Becoming a Childminder in York. In this video we'll look at local authority requirements for becoming a childminder in York. Each local authority has different requirements that prospective childminders need to fulfil before they are able to commence childminding. In the following slides we will cover the specific requirements for becoming a childminder in York, including they need to attend 2 free information sessions, completing an Introduction to Childcare course, having an awareness of safeguarding and child protection, the requirement to hold an appropriate first aid certificate, and the need to register with the Food and Safety Unit. Before registering to become a childminder in York, you will need to attend 2 free information sessions. The first is a childminder information session, which will cover everything you need to know about running your own business, including business planning, insurance and market research. We will also provide you with details about what additional support is available at either a local or national level for childminders, information about any funding opportunities, and full details of how to apply to Ofsted. The second free information session is the Introduction to the Early Years Foundation stage for childminders. At this session, an early years advisor will run you through the framework and requirements and provide you with some specific examples of how to implement the Early Years Foundation stage in the childminding setting. Childminders are required to complete a local authority approved Introduction to Childcare course. In York, this is the accredited Understanding How to Set Up a Home-Based Childcare course, otherwise known as SIPOP Unit 5. This will provide you with 4 credits towards the Level 3 diploma for the children and young people's workforce. Topics covered in the course include setting up a home-based childcare service, the Early Years Foundation stage and other frameworks, establishing a safe and healthy environment, working in partnership with parents, child development, developing routines, play and activities to support equality and inclusion, safeguarding children, promoting positive behaviour. SIPOP Unit 5 can be completed online through PACEY. It is expected that registered childminders will need to be qualified to at least a Level 3 by 2015, and this can be attained by gaining a further 61 credits to a total of 65 credits. Further information about these requirements will be provided at the Childminder information session. If you have worked as a childminder or within an early years setting in the past and hold a recognised qualification, you may be exempt from completing the SIPOP Unit 5 course. Please contact York Family Information Service for further information. Childminders must be able to identify signs of possible abuse and neglect at the earliest opportunity and respond to these in a timely and appropriate way. Childminders must inform Ofsted of any allegations of serious harm or abuse by any person living, working or looking after children at that premises, whether the allegations relate to harm or abuse committed on the premises or elsewhere. Childminders must also notify Ofsted of the action taken in respect of the allegations. All newly registered childminders in York are advised to complete the Introduction to Child Protection online course to fulfil the duty for providers to have basic awareness of different types of abuse and the procedures to follow should they be worried that a child is being abused or is at risk of being abused. As a registered childcare provider, you have a duty to protect children, yourself and your family and keep up to date with York's Safeguarding Children's Board guidance regarding child protection policies. Face-to-face child protection training should be completed and updated at least every 3 years. As mentioned in our earlier video, childminders must hold an appropriate first aid qualification. If you are intending on caring for babies and children who have not yet reached puberty, you should hold a paediatric first aid certificate. This qualification needs to be reviewed every 3 years. As part of the children's workforce in York, you can access subsidised training through the Workforce Development Unit. There is a wide and ever-growing range of training courses available through the Workforce Development Unit, which may be of interest to childminders, including paediatric first aid. Other training providers in Yorkshire also offer paediatric first aid training, which you can book onto for a standard rather than subsidised course fee. At present, childminders are not required to hold a food hygiene qualification. However, you will need to register with the Food and Safety Unit at City of York Council if you are intending on providing food for the children in your care. This needs to be done at least 28 days prior to commencing operation by completing a simple one-page registration form. There are some instances where childminders may be exempt from registering with the Food and Safety Unit. For example, if you are only providing mains drinking water and no food. Specific examples, along with helpful hygiene tips, can be found on the Food Standards Agency website. Additional information of relevance concerning Ofsted requirements for food and drink provision, including the requirements to adhere to in relation to special diets, preferences and food allergies, can be found in the statutory framework for the early years foundation stage. In terms of what next, we would recommend that you watch our follow-up videos which cover an introduction to childminding as well as the approximate costs involved. It is also suggested that you take a moment to look through the information and documents contained on our website, including the childminder person specification, the sample job description, and a day in the life of a childminder. Once you have done this, we would recommend that you then book onto the childminder information session, the dates for which can be found on our website, along with an online booking form. Once you've attended the childminder information session, then attend the follow-up Introduction to the Early Years Foundation Stage for Childminder session. Both of these are free. If you have any questions at all, please contact Family Information Service on 01904 554444 via email or through the online inquiry form that can be found on our website. Once you have attended the free information sessions, spoken to Family Information Service in detail, and have decided that childminding is something for you, you can then complete the Ofsted application pack and also ask your GP to complete the health check. Thanks very much for watching, and please look out for our other videos online.